Santa Barbara. We were both working in wineries, and we were in the beginning stages of exploring getting bond, becoming a bonded winery. And we took stock and decided we probably were reaching the limit there for home.
Well, it started with 1 barrel, and then became 2, and then it was 4, and then it was 8, and then I think there was at least 16 barrels in that carport. So we had to have that little talk. I mean, it was about that time we were discussing between the two of us. I was like, what the hell do we really want to do here? What's the priority? And I asked that question, and the answer came back. Both of us just said Pinot Noir.
I'd been to Oregon before, and I really loved it here, and kind of mentioned to Don that I thought they were growing grapes in Oregon. And I thought, well, okay, we can check that out. And there was a little wine shop at the bottom of the hill where we lived, and Don popped in there one day and found a couple of Oregon Pinot Noirs on the bottom shelf, all dusty and lonesome down there from the late 70s, and brought them home, an Erath, Knudsen Erath, and an Ivory Pinot Noir. And we did our due diligence and busted out the corkscrews and tasted those wines, and we were really excited. At that point, it's like, okay, we found it. It became crystal clear at that point. The Knudsen Erath bottle had a little preamble about the vineyard and where it was from, and in addition to that was Dick Erath's home phone number. I encouraged Don to call him up, and he did. So.
We were emboldened. We drank the whole bottle and liked it a lot. And Wendy said, "Well, just call him." So I did. I called him, and we talked for about an hour. And he implored us to, come on up. It's great. And the more the merrier sort of attitude. So within 3 weeks, we were on a plane up here. It didn't take very long. We made that first trip and just loved everything about it. But we had to find the right spot. We looked a lot of different places. I mean, I drove up and down a lot of these county roads. Finally when we found this, like the 500 to 700 feet elevation, southeast slopes, and we had that one little patch below the house that was. It was cleared already, so it was pretty easy to plant then, which we didn't do that the first year, but it was a nice spot for a little vineyard, and the house is big enough to accommodate the family and a winery in the basement.
Well, the community as it was had grown up together, the pioneers, the Ponzis, the Letts, the Eraths, and various other folks, and they'd been through it. It had not been an easy thing for any of them, and it was a difficult endeavor. And we thought when we got here, we were just the new kids on the block, and everybody embraced us. It was like instant community. Everybody was wonderful. If we needed a helping hand, it was there. A piece of equipment came our way from David Lett. We neglected to procure a crusher stemmer for our first harvest, and he very graciously loaned us that piece of equipment, which we used, I think, for 3 years. Mm-hmm. And grape sourcing, people were always just very generous in hooking you up with a friend or somebody. I heard somebody had some grapes for sale that you might want. Our neighbor Al Holstein offered us Pinot Gris grapes that very first year, and we were excited. We'd not had Pinot Gris before, so we did some research that involved corkscrew and a bottle of wine, and thought this is really something we'd like to pursue as well. So that first vintage, when we made 1,000 cases, it was just the two of us, and we had an opportunity to experiment a little bit. So some of that Pinot Gris went into stainless steel, and some went into neutral barrels, and that was became our signature Pinot Gris. Yes, we had not planned on having a tasting room. We thought we would be open occasionally for 2 miles off the pavement. We had no idea people would seek us out, travel that road, and come see us, especially on a regular basis. So we joined the Yamhill County, I think it was the Yamhill County Winery Association. Mm-hmm. We're the very first association to host a Thanksgiving open house. And we thought, well, we'll sign up for that, and we'll open our doors and post hours and put little arrows up and down the road. And we got ready for the big weekend. We labeled up what we thought would be enough cases of wine to get us through the whole weekend. And I love to bake, so I baked a lot of bread and baguettes and things for people to nibble on. And we were planning on opening at 11 o'clock. And by 10 o'clock, our parking lot was full. There was a line out the door, and we were just speechless. And it's like all these people showed up on our doorstep and came in and tasted the wines, and I don't know, maybe we labeled up a dozen cases or something, and we're really happy. If we would have sold out the whole weekend, that was gone by 1 o'clock. So we had to keep running up to our warehouse, which was our garage, and continue labeling up wine so we would have enough to get us through the rest of the weekend. So it's very exciting.
It was the end of our private domicile.
Yeah, so that was that. But hey, happy people in my home. It's wonderful.
Right. Yeah, actually, sense of income is amazing.
Instead of outgo. And we thought, okay, the weekend was over, and well, that was amazing. And so, kind of regroup, and well, enough people came and told their friends that people would just randomly show up throughout the week, odd hours, usually at dinner time. And, if they look, okay, I'd feed them. And a lot of those original customers are now dear, dear friends. We just bonded over the whole experience.
Yeah, by the end of the 90s, we had a number of really warm vintages, and those are the ones that the press likes. They tend to garner the most interest from the media. There was the 94 and the 98 were probably the two biggest, warmest vintages of the 90s. So that by the time the 90s were over, the industry was well established to the point where I felt confident going into a room full of winemakers from all over the world that somebody wouldn't say, "You're trying to grow wine grapes in Oregon?" Which we would hear. People would say that kind of thing to us.
Well, by then they were saying, "Oh, where in Oregon are you?"
Yeah, there were
which AVA are you at? It's like, wow. It went from you can grow grapes in Oregon to where's the Willamette Valley to, oh, you're in the Dundee Hills. How wonderful! I'd love to taste your wine. So that's what 25 years looks like to me.
I don't think I ever felt that it was a dream, something sort of, I fantasized about. We didn't fantasize, or we drank the wine,
Well, we had a goal, and the goal was to make the best American Pinot Noir that we possibly could.
It was clear this is where you do it. This is not a dream. You just got to go and do it and convince people that
you're not crazy,
that you're not dreaming.
Yeah,
exactly. And so that's what we did. With all our friends and colleagues and neighbors, out there just constantly making the wine and putting it in people's glasses, and it turned around, and it's we've made that case, and we're on to other things. We're just making all those little improvements, and the vineyard's getting older, and more vintages to talk about and extol the virtues of.
The second generation's coming on. I couldn't be prouder of our industry. See these fine young men and women coming into the wine industry, fully realized and ready to make the wines, ready to sell the wines, ready to run the family businesses. What a great industry. Here's to another 25 years.
That's what I'm saying.